Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivanadari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivanadari. Yasodanana Braja Janaranjana. Yasodanana Braja Janaranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanacharya. Yamuna Tira Vanacharya. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivanadari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivanadari. Yasodanana Braja Janaranjana. Yasodanana Braja Janaranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanacharya. Yamuna Tira Vanacharya. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivanadari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivanadari. Yasodanana Braja Janaranjana. Yasodanana Braja Janaranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanacharya. Yamuna Tira Vanacharya. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jayo Vishnupad Paramahangsa Bharvadakacharya Asadhara Sadhu Shri Shriman His Divine Grace Shalasi Bhaktivedanta Swami Raj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Gaur Premanande Haribo Slava Zarani Bhaktam Slava Shri Guru Shri Garangi Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthapute Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Tanamane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Bacharane Nirvishesha Srinivadi Paskatyade Siddharne Om Agana Tamanandasya Gananjana Salakaya Chaksur Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utabara Kamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sabadutam Prajana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Visakan Vitam Cha Hey Krishna Karna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchena Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Prashubhanu Sudhadevi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakapa Trivyascha Kripa Sindhu Vyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Pranityananda Shadwaiti Gadadhar Shivasati Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 14, Brahma's Prayers to Lord Krishna, Text 56. Vastuto Janatam Atra Krishnam Sahasnu Tarishnucha Bhagavad Rupam Akilam Nanyad Vast Viha Kinchana Vastuto Janatam Atra Krishnam Sahasnu Charishnucha Bhagavad Rupam Akilam Nanya Vast Viha Kinchana Vastu Janatam Atra Krishnam Sahasnu Charishnucha Bhagavad Rupam Akilam Nanya Vastviha Kinchana. Go ahead. Vastuto Janatamatra Krishnam Jahasnu Charishnucha Bhagavad Rupam Akilam Nanya Vastviha Kinchana. Ladies, Vastuto Janatam Atra Krishnam Sahasnu Krishnucha Bhagavad Rupam Akilam Nanyad Vastviha Kinchana. Vastuta. In fact, Janatam, for those who understand, Atra, in this world, Krishnam, Lord Krishna. Stasnu, stationary. Sati, no. Charishnu, cha. That's the easiest one there. Cha. It's not on there? Oh, it's the whole thing. It's moving. No. There's a separate one here. It's cha. See? Cha. Moving. I didn't say moving. Okay, moving. Cha. And Bhagavat Rupam. The manifest forms of the personality of Godhead. Akilam. Everything. Na. Nothing. Anyat. Else. Vastu. Substance. Iha. Here. Kinchana. At all. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Those in this world who understand Lord Krishna as He is, see all things, whether stationary or moving, as manifest forms of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Such enlightened persons recognize no reality apart from the Supreme Lord Krishna. Please repeat. Those in this world who understand Lord Krishna as He is, see all things as He is, see all things. Let me read that again. Those in this world who understand Lord Krishna as He is, see all things. Oh, okay. That's how it goes. So let's say that again. Those in this world who understand Lord Krishna as He is, see all things. Whether stationary or moving, as manifest forms of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Such enlightened persons recognize no reality apart from the Supreme Lord Krishna. Purport. Everything exists within Lord Krishna, and Lord Krishna exists within everything. Still, the order of progression is always from the energetic to the expanded energy. Lord Krishna is the original identity from whom all other identities emanate. He is the supreme energetic from whom all categories and dimensions of energy become manifest. Thus our personal bodies, self, family, friends, nation, planet, universe, and so on are all manifestations of the Supreme Lord, who expands Himself through His personal potencies. Lord Krishna is certainly the supreme object of our love and attraction, and other objects such as body, family, and home should be secondary objects of our affection. Moreover, a close analytical study of the actual situation will reveal that even these secondary objects of love are also manifestations of Lord Krishna. The conclusion is that Lord Krishna is our only friend and object of love. In his Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Srila Prabhupada comments on this verse as follows. Without being an expansion of Krishna, nothing can be attractive. Whatever is attractive within the cosmic manifestation is due to Krishna. Krishna is therefore the reservoir of all pleasure. The active principle of everything is Krishna, and highly elevated transcendentalists see everything in connection with Him. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita it is stated that a Mahabhagavata, a highly advanced devotee, sees Krishna as the active principle in all movable and immovable living entities. Therefore, he sees everything within this cosmic manifestation in relation to Krishna. So the text again. Those in this world who understand Lord Krishna as He is, see all things, whether stationary or moving, as manifest forms of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Such enlightened persons recognize no reality apart from the Supreme Lord Krishna. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Vicharane Nirvishesha Srinivadi Paskadhyade Satarane. The process of becoming Krishna conscious, is threefold. First is to believe that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And it's summarized that Krishna is the controller, Krishna is the enjoyer, and Krishna is the supreme friend of everyone. And the next step is to belong to Krishna's family. Krishna has a family. That family is in the spiritual world. And he's manifested that family in this material world in the association of his devotees. Satam prasangam mamavirya samvido bhavanti rikarna rasayanam kata. And in the association of devotees, satam prasanga mamavirya samvido, one can actually hear, one should be hearing the glories of Krishna. Bhavanti. For what reason? Everything has a reason. Why would we want to hear about the glories of Krishna? Why not hear the glories of so many other people who in this world are being glorified? In other words, here is a small group of aspiring devotees glorifying Krishna. Why are we here? Why aren't we with a vast number of people in Slovenia or elsewhere in this world who are on the internet right now, hearing the glories of so many other people? Why are we distributing books about Krishna? Amazon is doing a much better job of distributing books than we are, glorifying so many different things. So, Bhavanti, what are we going to achieve by glorifying Krishna? Bhavanti Rit. Now we have a heart. Our heart is where we feel things. Everyone's trying to feel good. Now, even people who are going on the internet or going on Amazon.com looking for things to buy, they're doing so because there's a promise that if I get these things, I'm going to feel good. So that's called Rit, where our mind is. Our mind is where we feel things. And Karna is our ear. Our ear is where we gain knowledge by hearing. So people are hearing the glories of so many different things, and they're taking those glories and putting them into their heart and becoming inspired to try out so many different things. Something to eat, place to sleep, etc. Rasayanam kata tajjoshava satam prasangama mavirya samvido bhavanti rit karna rasayanam. So this promises, this hearing about Krishna's glories is promising to be a rasayanam. Rasayanam is given when a person's practically dead, and they give him some rasayanam. It's a bhasma usually, that if you take even a little of it, it brings you back to life. Very carefully prepared Ayurvedic medicine. So what is that relation to us? Because this rasayanam is for the soul. The soul practically is unconscious right now. We are the soul. We know more or less who we are. We know we are. At least we know we are. We don't know maybe who we are, but at least we know we are. So we're that much conscious. But compared to our actual identity, our actual existence, we're completely unconscious. We're practically dead compared to our real life. Although we're actually thinking that this material life and all its possibilities is real life, and it's a life. It's a very limited life. It's a life. But compared to our actual life, the spiritual life, it's completely insignificant. Therefore, the Rasayanam wakes us up again gradually to our real life. Rasayanam kata. Satam prasangam amavirya samvido bhavanti rit karana rasayanam kata. So this kata, this simply hearing, not just hearing. Of course, if we could actually hear the words of the scriptures, we could hear Krishna's words, we'd immediately become Krishna conscious, because there's no difference between Krishna and his name, his form, his quality, and his pastimes. Unfortunately, under the modes of nature, we're covered, and therefore we can't hear properly. We can hear, I think everyone can hear me, especially if I have the microphones there. But how much can we actually hear? Just like if you have a glove on your tongue and it's a Sunday feast, how much can you actually taste? Now, if you take the glove off, you have a much better chance of tasting what the feast actually tastes like. Similarly, everything about Krishna is a feast. Unfortunately, being covered by the modes of nature is like being covered by a tongue, by a glove, and therefore we're not actually experiencing the sweetness of hearing about Krishna. But it's just by hearing these sweet names every day. Does anyone know that verse? Sat Krishna Nama Charitadi Sitapti Vidya. Who knows that verse? I know it. At least one of us knows it, so we can repeat it. Sat Krishna Nama Charitadi Sitapti Vidya Pito Patapta Rasanastra Nirochikanu Kinvadarada Nudinam Saiva Kalajushta Swadvi Kala Bhavati Swavi Sada Kavati Bala. Anyhow, I don't know. I forgot part of it. I can try it one more time. Sat Krishna Nama Charitadi Sitapti Vidya Pito Patapta Rasanastra Nirochikanu Kinvadarada Nudinam Kalasava Jushta Swadvi Kala Bhavati Tadkala Mulahantri. See the mercy of the super soul. The holy name of Krishna, his transcendental name, quality, and pastimes are all transcendently sweet like sugar candy. Although the tongue of one afflicted by the jaundice of avidya cannot taste anything sweet, but it is wonderful how by simply chanting these sweet names every day, a natural relish awakens within one's tongue, and one's disease of avidya is destroyed at the root. Therefore, we have to assess where we're at in the process of believing in Krishna, because believing in Krishna means that we're actually experiencing Krishna. Of course, we can believe in Krishna theoretically. We're giving some intellectual understanding about Krishna, but to actually get deeper into believing Krishna, we have to experience Krishna. If I show you an apple, at least you'll believe that there's an apple. Now, if I describe the taste of the apple, you may believe that the apple has a taste. But when you actually bite into the apple, then you can understand whether there's really a taste to the apple or not. And then it's confirmed that the apple has a taste. Otherwise, you have to accept it on faith, that the apple has a taste. Because we have experience that most apples, not all of them, but most of them have a taste. So the apple I'm showing probably has a taste also. And I look like an honest person to most people, especially about apples, especially if I'm not selling them. So you may think, all right, probably has a taste. And then if I offer to you to take a bite, then it's up to you whether you want to take a bite to find out if it has a taste, any flavor or not. So similarly, as we progress in accepting Krishna, then we can also accept and enter into Krishna's family. And believing in Krishna doesn't just believe that there's a man who has a flute and he stands on in a bending form. It also means to believe, as it says here, that Krishna is represented in his devotees, at least, to different degrees. And that there are those who are explaining the process of Krishna consciousness, and those who are following the process of Krishna consciousness, and those who are experiencing Krishna, they should be accepted as at least aspiring devotees. And the minimum relationship we have with an aspiring devotee is we respect them within our mind. Now, of course, they do so many things that we don't like, and that probably are out, maybe even outside of the realm of pure devotional service. But still, Rupa Goswami doesn't say, if you see some problem, then put your mind in it and help the person by hating them. And if you hate them enough, if you're angry at them enough, surely they'll change. Just be angry, because show your frustration, and you're a victim, etc. And then surely there'll be progression in your life. That's called Maya. But Rupa Goswami doesn't accept that. He says the minimum qualification for an aspiring devotee is to respect them within our minds. But if it's necessary, if we can have a nice, loving relationship with them, then don't intimately associate with them. All right, everyone is bad in my mind. Everyone's more or less, they don't understand me, they don't love me, they're here for so many wrong reasons, they're doing so many bad things. Who can I associate with? I'm just trying to respect them within my mind, but there's no one to associate with, because no one understands me, no one accepts me for what I am. So, where's the intimate association? Therefore, sadhana, for sadhana month, it's our sadhana. All the loving exchanges are all there in the sadhana, in the most pure form. Waking up in the morning with such an austerity, because probably one of the things we're most attached to, we find out when we wake up, is our bed. Our body's attached to the bed. Our mind's attached to the bed. And we can break that attachment and get up, then we've broken a big attachment for that day. But don't worry, the bed's still waiting for you. It won't leave you. Even if you break your attachment to the bed, it's still waiting for you to come back. There's no fear. Masucha. And then we have to go, and sometimes it's dark, and we have to go to this room, and they open the curtains. We got to do yoga. We got to bow down. And we don't like exercise. We got to do it anyhow, at least to keep up for one reason or another. And then we have to listen to these devotees. Some of them sound like angels to us. Some of them sound like frogs. And still we got to be there listening to them. So that's, if we listen to them, then gradually we'll accept they sound like frogs, but it's a spiritual frog. It's a friendly frog. It's a cute frog. So then we'll develop more of a positive relationship with the devotee we're listening to. And if we try to hear at least those who we appreciate and try to repeat the way they're chanting, then we'll learn how to chant better ourselves. More feelingly, more attentively, and hopefully gradually more lovingly. Then we hear Srimad Bhagavatam. Anyone who can stay awake during Bhagavatam, they're going to make some advancement, especially if someone's talking about Krishna. They'll at least hear the word Krishna from a devotee, from an aspiring devotee at least. And that may help one advance. One may even get some insight in how to better chant Hare Krishna and hear about Krishna. That's also possible. allow Krishna to enter into our ear, stimulate our intelligence in such a way that we allow it to enter into our hearts. Because it's because we don't have enough intelligence, we don't allow the holy name to enter into our heart. So when we hear and we get enough intelligence, and gradually our intelligence, all right, let it go into your heart a little bit, see what happens. So in that way, the more we understand how to at least appreciate devotees or aspiring devotees, because at least they're trying to become conscious of Krishna. At least even if they're not trying, they're chanting Hare Krishna. So they're on the way back to the spiritual world eventually. Maybe many lifetimes, but at least they're doing the right thing in this lifetime. Just like if someone's taking a shower, when the shower is on, you can't criticize them for being dirty. It's useless, because they're in the shower. What's the value of saying, you're dirty? But I'm in the shower, what can I do? So at least within the mind. And then, if we're a little bit more advanced, or we see devotees a little bit more advanced, then we have to make friends with them. If we find someone who's actually, I can make friends with them, that's very good. But friends are real friends. Generally in the material world, friends is you scratch my back, then I'll scratch your back, in that order. I'm just waiting. My back's here, you see. Scratch. Okay. You gave me 3, I give you 2. We're friends. But real friends are those who we can actually reveal our minds in confidence to. And we're not afraid it's going to be over all in the internet. And that they'll actually give us an honest evaluation of what we need to advance in spiritual life. They'll give us an intelligent evaluation, and we can trust that if we apply that evaluation, then I'll make some spiritual advancement. And even if it's not 100% accurate, if I just try to take what's valuable from what our association, then the result, Krishna will be pleased. And then I'll advance in spiritual life by the grace of Krishna. And that they walk along with us. They're not trying to walk ahead of us. They're walking on the same level that we're on. And all of us, whatever level we're on, we're walking according to the instructions of those who are superior, and even those who are superior, ultimately they're connected with the Mahabhagavats in disciple succession. And therefore it works, because if you put the plug into the socket, then the electricity is there. So the electricity, the spiritual electricity, is coming through our disciple succession from our acharyas, and in proportion to those who are following the acharyas, the electricity is also flowing as transparent vita medias. Maybe more or maybe less, but those who are connected, there's going to be some flow of the mercy coming from the acharyas. And then, if we accept the process that Rupa Goswami has given us and associate with the devotees accordingly, then the result is we'll become pure devotees ourselves. We'll gradually make advancement towards developing all the good qualities. Yasyasti bhaktir bhagavata kinchana savar gunas tatra samasute sara harava bhaktasya gato mahagunan manorate nasati davatobahi. That one who sincerely takes to the process of Krishna consciousness, Yasyasti bhaktir bhagavata kinchana, especially following the steps, the footsteps, and hearing the words and repeating the words from their acharyas, the akinchana, those who have no material desires, who only desire to serve Krishna. Yasyasti bhaktir bhagavat akinchana savar gunas tatra samasute. They acquire all the good qualities of the demigods by the process. I just described. It may be gradual, but one of the things Krishna wants to see is our patience. Not that, Krishna, I've been in this process for so long, where are you? Who are you to hide from me? Who are you not to give me your mercy? Do you know who I am? And Krishna says, yes, I know who you are. Do you know who you are? Well, good question. Well, you're supposed to be my servant. That's all right, but you're supposed to serve me. I mean, I'm supposed to be your what? What do you mean? I thought as I surrendered to you, you're supposed to reward me. What's that got to do with being a servant? It's a business deal. Krishna and you, we got a deal. No, we follow the process, then we get all the good qualities of devotee. We become humble. Humble. I didn't join this movement to become humble. They should have told me that before I joined. I came here to become, to get all the good qualities so people honor me and they worship me. What is this, some humility? Come on. All right, I accept I got to become a little humble because otherwise people won't worship me. But tolerant, my God, the next thing is tolerant. How can I tolerate these people who don't worship me, who don't recognize how humble I am? I didn't join this movement to become tolerant. They should have told me that before. They gave me all this prasadam. They didn't tell me tolerant. They tricked me. And now I got to worship everyone? Oh, this is ridiculous. Don't you realize how bad these people are? Krishna, wake up. It's not Chaturmasya. Get real, Krishna. Don't you see all these problems? Why are you hiding, in my heart? Come out. See, look. Then we have to appreciate, etc. Then we may actually make progress towards real transcendental experience. Now, if we don't do that, manorate nasati davato bahi, yasyasi bhaktir bhagavata kinchana, savarganas tatra samasate sura, harava bhaktasya gato mahag. If we don't want to follow this process, we don't want to become a sincere devotee of Krishna, then we can hover on the mental platform. We can develop so many good qualities externally. We can become so expert in so many things in the material world. We can get so much security, money, and affection from others. But we're hovering on the mental platform, and we're going to crash sooner or later and be disappointed with what we've gotten. And even if we live a complete life of satisfaction, we have to die anyhow and then start all over again. We'll be disappointed at least that when we're leaving this body. Can I take something with me? My God, I can't even take my clothes with me. You mean you're taking me there naked? Wherever I'm going, this is terrible. At least my teddy bear. Come on. What's the harm of bringing a teddy bear with me? Can't take anything except for the reactions or our activities. Maybe they're good, but if they're not Krishna conscious, it's just a temporary birthday party we have somewhere else, and back here. So we should follow the process, and then we don't have to avoid all the problems of material existence. We can gradually get out of them, or learn how to avoid the problems of material existence, which practically all of them come from our minds. There may be some problems with the weather, with other living entities, but the main problem in our body, but the main problem is our mind. As Prahladananda Maharaj said, there's no enemy in this world except for the uncontrolled mind. There are problems, but as far as enemies, our real enemy is our mind. We live with our mind 24 hours a day, so let's make it our friend by the process of Krishna consciousness. And then our mind will become our friend instead of our enemy. So I'll stop there. Thank you. Any questions or comments? Yes.
Thank you for inspiring lecture. I just wanted to ask, when you talked about the importance of friendships, could you give some advices of the main principles of establishing firm friendship in Krishna consciousness.
Come to the program, associate with the devotees, especially the program where we hear and chant. Try to hear from the devotees. Take them seriously what they're saying in the program and outside the program, and try to see what we can apply within our lives to make ourselves more Krishna conscious and develop a better relationship. And if we do that, then actually we're acting as a friend to others. And we'll see them as a friend. And generally when we see others as a friend, they see us as a friend also. Especially if we become a servant to others, if they see us as a servant. Everyone needs a good servant. No problem. And from servitorship, friendship gradually develops too. I mean, these wealthy people, millionaires or billionaires, usually the only person they confide in is their driver. Or their butler or someone. Because everyone needs a friend. Anything else?
Maybe I missed it. What was the third step? You said believe, belong, and?
Become a pure devotee. That's the method of becoming pure devotees. Become absorbed in the process of experiencing Krishna, and then becoming a sincere servant of Krishna's devotees, and then we'll gradually become a sincere servant of others too, of everyone. We'll see Krishna everywhere, all the time. In other words, in the association of devotees, we become Madhyama Adhikaris. That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to love Krishna and serve him, learn how to treat the devotees in loving exchanges appropriately, learn how to help the innocent, which is why we're together. Hopefully we see each other as innocent, and then try to become inspired to help others who are also innocent, and avoid those who are made their business to try to eliminate Krishna from everyone's lives. So, upeksha, disregard them, become aloof from them, which is usually the difficulty, because we think that people outside are enemies, that these are the demons. Unfortunately, we have a lot of demoniac conceptions within our own mind that we have to ignore. So we have to learn how to do that. And then we become a pure devotee. We're already, by nature, pure devotees, then Krishna reveals himself to one who follows that process. And as Krishna reveals himself, then we become ecstatic, pure devotees. We become Krishna's devotee. Anything else? Yes.
It's difficult to control the mind. It's possible to make him our friend.
That's why we're all here. We're in the process of making the mind our friend by hearing and chanting about Krishna and serving him and his devotees. So if it wasn't possible, then none of us would be here right now. So we're living proof that it's possible. That's why Prabhupada was living proof that he was a Mahabhagavat. Because he went around the world with all kinds of crazy people, all kinds of different nationalities and all kinds of, races and whatever. And he got them to take up the process of Krishna consciousness all over the world. Only a pure devotee could have done that. Could have been empowered like that. Try to do that when you're 70 years old, coming from India, and come to, travel all around the world and see if you can make everyone chant Hare Krishna. Shave their heads, put on saris and dhotis, and chant Hare Krishna and dedicate their lives to Krishna. Only if you're empowered by Krishna can you do that. So it works. Prabhupada was living proof of it. And he also made other living proofs. All right. Khwala Grantaraj Shrimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Gaur Premanande.